Let's talk about cryptocurrencies and digital payment systems that came roaring on the scene in 2020. And it raised billions of dollars given its growth potential. There's no question that blockchain will become part of financial services. It'll, in my view, over the next 10 years, become the 12th sector of the S&P. But the platforms that were set up first, and we can mention their names, because I certainly remember them, FTX and Binance. Now, together, they had 97% of the market share of the world's cryptocurrencies and potential for digital payments, because it's not just Bitcoin that this is about. It's about the ability to pay people around the world using an exchange.
What's up, guys? Today, we're going to dive into some of Mr. Wonderful's crazy predictions about crypto that could mean billions of dollars are up for grabs. Mr. O'Leary seems to have a billion-dollar playbook for profiting from the rise of crypto exchanges, and we're going to expose every last detail. We'll also be looking at a new exchange he's going all into in Abu Dhabi, the emerging crypto capital of the world. In this video, you'll learn exactly how this savage millionaire plans to get even richer with crypto. We'll break down his investment strategies, the real-world use cases that have him drooling, and the must-know tips for any aspiring crypto whale out there. So, stick around to the end, smash that like button right now, subscribe if you're new, and let's dive into Kevin O'Leary's crypto billions.
You're like I don't know where you are in crypto. You were so negative for a while and just definitive, like you always are. You may know nothing, but you're never in doubt, but you were so negative. Then you got totally positive. Do you own Bitcoin now? Kevin, what's your position in crypto right now? You do. Have you sold,
it's
sold
20%
major parts of it? You have a lot of it, or as much?
No, look, Bitcoin is not a coin, Joe. It's simply software. Ethereum is software. If you own, HBAR software, if you own Microsoft, if you own Google, why don't you own Bitcoin? It's all software. It's productivity software.
You own one Bitcoin? Do you have a real position in it? Because you're a wealthy guy.
I have millions of dollars. 20% of my portfolio is now in cryptocurrencies and blockchain.
This dude isn't just casually dipping his toes into digital money. He's going all in on the future of crypto in a major way. One of O'Leary's biggest calls is that crypto is going to become the 12th massive sector of the iconic S&P 500 index over the next decade or so. Just let that sink in for a minute. We're talking about crypto reaching the same level as established titans like energy, finance, and technology. And it's not just hopeful talk either. O'Leary has a very specific game plan for how he plans to cash in on the coming crypto explosion over the next 10 years. His primary strategy? Going mega heavy into the top cryptocurrency exchanges.
Let's talk about cryptocurrencies and digital payment systems that came roaring on the scene in 2020. And it raised billions of dollars given its growth potential. There's no question that blockchain will become part of financial services. It'll, in my view, over the next 10 years, become the 12th sector of the S&P. But the platforms that were set up first, and we can mention their names, because I certainly remember them, FTX and Binance. Now, together, they had 97% of the market share of the world's cryptocurrencies and potential for digital payments, because it's not just Bitcoin that this is about. It's about the ability to pay people around the world using an exchange. Now, obviously, we know what happened to FTX. I remember because I lost $18 million. I'm not happy about that. And we've all seen what's happened to Binance, and that happened faster than anybody thought. So those guys are gone. They're the call them the pioneers, but they now have arrows in their backs. And then whether it's serendipitous luck or whether they really thought this through, or maybe a little bit of both, M2 just launched in Abu Dhabi as the new home of crypto. It was a fanfare event. It's a private company, but it is all of what FTX was and Binance was, except it's compliant. And it's backed by billions of dollars, and it's got massive financial institutions attached to it. And it's because it's compliant and transparent, and you know who owns it, it's investable. Now, the first thing I had to figure out when I got here and watched what was happening is, as I said, okay, I invest in exchanges. I think if you could have invested in the New York Stock Exchange the day it was founded over 200 years ago, and the NASDAQ, and owned those through all the economic cycles, they were fantastic investments. That's how I feel about M2. So how do I get a piece? That's the problem. It's private.
O'Leary knows these elite exchanges are going to be some of the biggest windfalls of the crypto age, and he's identified what he believes will be one of the world's leading platforms, a new exchange called M2 based in Abu Dhabi.
You know, It doesn't. What happened with Sam Bankman-Fried and CZ, they're no longer with us, so to speak.
They're still alive, though.
No, but that doesn't change the potential at all of what crypto can be. And I'll give you an example. This is a perfect example. There's a watchmaker in Geneva named Simon Britt. He's the next Picasso of watchmaking. That's the buzz amongst collectors. I'm a big watch collector.
Yes.
In fact, I got introduced to him through one of my collector friends here, right here in the UAE. And he's only going to make 5 prototype watches. And you have to be a collector. You've got to, petition him, explain why you should own it. And luckily, he agreed that I should own number 3. Now, how do I pay for it? Now, when you're that kind of a guy and you're well known, you get prepaid. So I had to figure out, how do I transfer, in this case, 40,000 Swiss francs for the down payment and another 40,000 when it came time to pick it up. And just by chance, here we are sitting together. I'm picking it up tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock in Geneva. So I'm going to leave here, leave your wonderful studio, get on a plane and fly to Geneva to pick this watch up. However, I went through hell to transfer the capital from New York, transfer it into Swiss francs. It took 3 days to do the wire transfer. Then I got absolutely screwed on the FX fees, transferring it from US dollars into Swiss francs. And that took even more time. I'm getting screwed on every level there, which really makes me unhappy. I don't like to pay for worthless services. If we had an M2 at the time, and I had an account on M2, and Simon had an account on M2, I could simply transfer any currency I wanted to him, or USDC, or a stable coin, or Bitcoin, whatever he wants, in a split second at a fraction of the cost. So the potential of what this could be is obvious in that use case, except multiply that by 1 billion times around the world. And so somebody's going to get it right. Someone's going to be compliant. Someone's going to have the capital to set this up. I think it's going to be M2. Now, this would be my 3rd time at bat. I did FTX, struck out. Binance, I'm so lucky I didn't invest in that thing. And now I got one I can do that with. I'm thinking this is going to be the one.
No more stupid delays, no more exorbitant fees for simple cross-border payments. With M2, your money can flow freely across the globe at light speed with just the click of a button. That's the true meaning of monetary freedom. And that's just one basic use case. Imagine how this exchange could disrupt literally every other area of finance. Borrowing, lending, banking, trading, investing, you name it. The possibilities are endless for wresting control away from the gatekeepers.
And so, however, I'm an industrious guy. I found out that Phoenix Technologies owns 30% of it. Phoenix is going public on the ADX here in Abu Dhabi. So then I had to figure out, how do I get a piece of Phoenix? I can buy the shares. That's what I found out. So I'm using International Securities, which is the biggest brokerage firm I could find in Abu Dhabi. I can download the app in the US. I set up an account. I put in an order, and now I have access to M2. Now, if you're an American, you can't open an account on M2, but you can own the stock, which is what I want. And so that's what I did. I'm very excited about it, and I think this is going to be one of the biggest exchanges in the world because it's being built off the backbone of the financial services sector of Abu Dhabi, totally compliant. And the management has already made their announcements about how transparent they're going to be. I'm very excited about this project.
Now, Abu Dhabi may not be the first place that comes to mind when you think crypto, but O'Leary calls it an emerging crypto hub that's perfectly positioned to produce giants like M2. This exchange is being built from the ground up to be fully compliant and regulatory approved right from the jump. That's where M2's Abu Dhabi roots give it a big advantage. The United Arab Emirates has been working hard to establish itself as a crucial blockchain and fintech epicenter for the booming crypto space. So while M2 may not have the name recognition of Coinbase or Binance yet, its legal positioning and backing from the UAE government could help it leapfrog to the front of the pack in O'Leary's eyes.
If you were 25 now and you had to remake all your money, what would you do? If someone's listening now and they want to make a little bit of money but they don't know where to start?
I'd move to Abu Dhabi. Yeah. There's that old saying in that movie, Plastics, you move here. there's just so many growth sectors. You know, people are ignorant about the UAE. They think that everything is energy. You know, what's interesting, at Finance Week, I don't think we talked about energy once. Like, you know, 5 years ago, that's what you talk about.
Yeah.
But I don't think I heard the word hydrocarbon once. It's all about other sectors that are growing. There's a lot of excitement about AI. We talked about it. There's a lot of excitement of digital payment systems. There's a lot of excitement about everything. And which means that the strategy to diversify the economy away from energy is working. And you know, even hosting the UN climate conference today, it starts today. It's here, which makes a lot of sense to me, because what you find in terms of advanced technology, and I'm planning to try and bring some of this back. We run a mandate for the state of North Dakota, and we're expanding that. So we're investing in North Dakota, and we need carbon sequestration. Well, a lot of the advanced technologies were adapted here first, and so we're going to bring some of that back there. There's a lot of, there's a lot you can learn here that's already been done here. A lot of some very interesting technology already been spent here. So you just have to do the work. But you will find, you talk to any minister and say, look, I'm interested in this. They'll tell you 5 guys to call right away. They know. And so we did that with AI. We immediately found one of the biggest producers here and said, let's experiment with you. Let's try your technology and see how you can do Mr. Wonderful that speaks Arabic.
Do you know what really gets me hyped about O'Leary's crypto plays? It's the fact that this dude is scratching way beyond the surface to find the next big opportunities. So while most people still sleep on Abu Dhabi as just an oil economy, early movers who get in now could be poised to ride massive waves of growth and development happening across so many cutting-edge fields. That's a prime opportunity for ambitious young figures like a lot of you out there. Maybe chasing crypto billions in Abu Dhabi sounds far-fetched at first, but just look at O'Leary's conviction here. All right, guys, that's a wrap on breaking down Kevin O'Leary's master plan for getting filthy rich with crypto. Whether you're already balls deep in the crypto space or a total newbie, I hope this video opened your eyes to the massive potential and opportunities out there. For any of you feeling that FOMO starting to kick in after hearing O'Leary's billion-dollar predictions, I got you covered. I'm dropping all the hottest news, trade setups, and money-making plays in this space, and on our Telegram channel. Check out the link in the description. So join us, and I'll make sure you're fully plugged into the brain feed. No half-stepping or sleeping on life-changing opportunities like this. All right, fam, that's a wrap. Smash that subscribe button for more mind-blowing money alpha like this. I'll catch you legends in the next video. Until then, stay winning.